Greetings, peace be with you. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 6 habits that I'm going to be implementing over the next 30 days of Ramadan. So today is the first fast. We're not going to be eating from sunrise to sunset. And in between that time, I'm also going to be implementing these 6 habits which you see on the whiteboard over here. I'm going to be diving more in depth into them. Now, before diving into the video, I just want to clarify something, that this is not about whether you're Muslim, whether you're Christian, whether you're Hindu, right? I made a video like how to lose fat yesterday during Ramadan, and I got like a very nasty comment from someone who was like, just very nasty comment. And I pray that he finds peace in his heart, because the reality is that religion, the word religion, literally it comes from Latin religare, right? It means to bind, it means unity, right? It means unity, which is the only reality at the end of the day, right? The only reality is unity. Everything else is an illusion, right? When we look at the Big Bang, it all started from one speck, which ended up becoming the entire universe. So from the same source, we all arose, and to the same source, we will all go, right? So all getting caught in this corporate religion that I call it, where because people are really using religion, which was meant to bring unity amongst the people, as a means to actually bring division and start wars for corporate interests, right? So personally, I found myself in that trap as well. And as I had my awakening and realized what is actually important, the only reality is unity, and realizing that we are all each other living very different lives. And the purpose of Ramadan in the Islamic culture, in the Islamic tradition, is that of cultivating something known as taqwa, right? Now, this means many different things in Arabic. When you translate it into English, it's like many different words. But the one definition that I love the most is that of God consciousness, right? In the Quran, God prescribed fasting as a means to experience taqwa, right? To become aware of the ultimate reality. And it's no surprise that fasting has been a common thread among so many of the spiritual traditions. And in this video, like I said, I'm going to be sharing with you 6 habits that I'm going to be adding on top of the fasting to really maximize this time to become a more grounded and stronger version of myself. Okay, now, the first habit that I'm going to be implementing is no digital entertainment. Okay, I've definitely found myself on that slope of checking my phone first thing in the morning and then scrolling mindlessly. And anytime that I catch myself, whether it's on the pot, whether it's waiting in line, whether it's in the car, scrolling mindlessly without intention, without purpose, then I know that I've been hacked over there, right? So I've definitely dealt with this. Like, it used to be way worse for me in the past. But ever since I started making Facebook ads and YouTube advertising, then I started looking at how many customers did I get right now? Okay, I'm gonna refresh this right now. And just like constantly going through this, which doesn't serve me, which doesn't serve anyone other than my brain, which gets this dopamine spike, and that is something that I wanna avoid, right? So scrolling and getting to digital entertainment, right? One of my highest values is to value education over entertainment, because entertainment doesn't help anyone other than the entertainer who's probably getting paid for it, right? Now, of course, it can be combined, right? We have the new era of edutainment as well, which is probably something that you're watching right now, right? You're probably getting some sort of value because you're watching this video. But for me, it's really implementing this habit, which is not to go on to digital entertainment, not to be scrolling mindlessly. And at the end of the day, not to do anything mindlessly, and to be clear of my intention whenever I do something, right? And just as a side note, everything that I'm going to be discussing in this video is a not to-do list, right? In my experience, if I just stop doing a couple of things, then my results are way more better if I just focus on all of this to-do list that I have to do. If I just focus on the core principles in what not to do, then what to do just becomes a natural byproduct of that. Okay, now the second key habit is no food except eggs, bone broth, ghee, which is purified butter, veggies, fruit, and meat, right? So for a long time, I used to get caught up in the strict dieting, rigid meal plan. Should I eat this? Should I not eat that? Now, I haven't eaten sugar for the whole month of April. And for starting today, this is the first day of Ramadan, I am also cutting out refined grains and refined vegetable oils, right? Especially in the food culture that we're living in right now, I was reading that like 70% of the calories consumed in the US alone is soybean oil. Here where I'm at right now, it's like vegetable oil, canola oil, sunflower oil, safflower oil. All of these oils are refined man-made oils, okay? they cause inflammation in your body, and inflammation is the root cause of everything that you want to avoid. Diabetes, heart disease, cancer, Alzheimer's, extra body fat, right? Reducing that inflammation is really the number one thing that any of us can do to really level up our health, right? So I'm narrowing down on these couple of foods. Just gonna be eating 2 meals a day, right? At sunrise and sunset, and I'm gonna be setting up my workouts within then as well, right? If you want me to make another video on my habits that I'm gonna be implementing as well, because this video is only on the not to do list, right? What am I not gonna be doing? And if you want to see a video on what I am going to be doing, leave a comment below and I'll be definitely getting on that as well. Okay? Now, the third habit, the third not to do is no alcohol or weed. Okay? Now, alcohol, the last time I drank was actually New Year's Eve 2020. So that's like 3 to 4 months ago. And weed is something that I have been going in an on and off relationship for the last like decade, almost more than a decade at this point. And it definitely has its uses. I definitely see it as a tool, okay, to expand my awareness, to expand my consciousness, to get me out of that, constant chatter and like expand and get perspective for sure. But it's only a tool until the tool starts using you. And at the end of the day, you are the only one who can answer that question. For me, I've definitely been on both sides of the spectrum, whereby if I smoke, I get some crazy ideas, I implement those ideas, get amazing results. And then on the other side, it's like I just smoke, I get crazy ideas, don't do anything with them, and then forget about them, and then just smoke some more, and then get down that cycle. Just the only thing that I'm doing is smoking, right? So for these next 30 days, no weed for me, okay? Now, this also applies to cigarettes. It applies to any mind-altering substance, anything that you already know that you're putting inside your body that doesn't serve you, that might provide that instant gratification, but doesn't serve you in the long term, that actually damages your well-being in the long term. That is something that you need to avoid, okay? Now, the fourth habit over here is no refined grains, no refined sugar, no refined oils. Okay, we went over this previously as well. But if you just remove these 3 foods from your diet, like, you would be better off than 90% of the people out there. Okay, it's crazy because the food market is flooded with all of these foods, right? It's so hard to actually get foods that nourish you, and it's so easy to get foods that actually cause inflammation, that actually damage you. So I'm going to be removing refined sugar. I haven't had since April. Refined grains, I've been eating rice, I've been eating potatoes, I've been eating chapati, roti. I'm saying that in an American accent, but I've been eating that, okay, and I'm going to be cutting that out completely as well. And the food in my house has been cooked in refined oils, and it's been taking a process, but now this month it's only going to be made in ghee. So I'm excited about that, and I'll be reporting my results for that as well. Okay, now no dating. Okay, now the last time I was with someone was actually almost a year ago when I was living in Medellin, Colombia. But if this applies to you, because I've definitely been in this situation, right? Chasing, being a degenerate, like going out every single day, 7 nights a week. Okay, I was to that extent. I was living with someone who was a pickup artist, right? Trying to go out every single night, trying to get with as many girls as possible. And going through that, I actually realized that, why am I even doing this? And that's when I actually got to the truth that I was trying to fill a void within me, right? And the more I tried to fill that void from outside of me, the more I tried to get that validation from outside of me, the deeper that hole got and the bigger it got, and the more I ended up needing it even more and more and more, right? It wasn't until I actually developed and cultivated a deep, fulfilling, passionate relationship whereby I'm not coming into it to get anything, I'm only coming into it to give. But I suppose it's something that we all learn in due time. It's something that we all learn with our own experience going through this. But it's something that I haven't struggled with for a year. Like, it's been a year, monk mode. I actually declared that officially by sharing my head as well. So it's been a year for me. But if you are someone who's going through that slope, always trying to chase, then it's an important consideration to ask yourself, why? Does this even serve you? Does this even move you towards your goals? Or is it something that you think you should do in order to get validation, right? Why is the most important question, okay? Now, finally, is no going out except in nature, right? So we're all in quarantine right now, so there's no going out anyway. But personally, I do end up going to my friends' places or something like that, and end up like, socializing or whatever it is, just like catching up. But that is not something that I'm going to be involved in unless it's like going out for a walk in nature, going to get some exercise, something where we're like collaboratively coming together and actually with intention, with purpose to do something rather than just coming together for the sake of coming together just to fill the space, right? So these are the 6 habits that I'm going to be implementing this Ramadan. Okay, like I said, this doesn't have to do anything with whether you're Muslim, Christian, Hindu, whatever it is. Like, if whatever you identify as, that's up to you, between you and whoever it is that you know are accountable to. But at the end of the day, it's about realizing God consciousness, right? It's about realizing that all life is one, right? In the Vedas, they say that the truth is one, though the wise call it by many names, right? When it comes out in the form of language, which is the way through all religions have been expressed through language, right? Which is an interpretation of the truth, right? We are after the truth, right? In Buddhism, they say the finger pointing at the truth is not the truth, right? The moon is the truth is the truth, right? And the truth is not something that you can say in words, it's something that you experience, right? And once you have that experience, you realize that unity is the only reality. Duality, division, all of these things are actually propaganda. It has an agenda with corporate religion. We're using and killing people in the name of God to actually serve an ulterior motive. But once we wake up, and more of us actually wake up to the reality that all life is one, right? That the truth is one, though the paths are many, that is when the entire world begins to shift. And that is what we are going through right now as well. Okay, so these are the 6 habits that I'm going to be implementing during Ramadan. Take what is useful, discard what is not, add what is uniquely your own, right? Bruce Lee said that. And with that, I conclude this video, and I will see you in the next one.